Theme parks are some of the coolest places on Earth, in my opinion. In the way that I feel video games combine every piece of media that came before them, combining video, audio, visual art, and 3D models, theme parks combine so many things and so many forms of entertainment: photography, theater, film, painting, sculpting, storytelling, and of course, architecture. Hell, even the culinary arts and smell. And I'm sure there's more words that would fit here. And when done to the full extent, theme parks can make you feel like you are entering a different world entirely. A common term used at Walt Disney World is the Disney bubble, which Disney has taken to a whole different extent, having their own county and having literal highways that they run. And now they've taken the immersion to an entirely new level with a multi-day hotel experience that throws you into the world of Star Wars. If you have thousands of dollars to blow, you can pretty much stop existing in the normal world and exist in a galaxy far, far away. And that's really what theme parks are all about. And that's a far cry from what some parks do. There's definitely a difference in what Disney or Universal is doing versus what something like a Six Flags or a Cedar Fair park does. In fact, most of those parks, I don't know if I would even consider them theme parks. They're definitely amusement parks, but I don't know about theme park. So, what does separate a theme park from an amusement park? I think there's actually definitely a lot of overlay over these two things. It's sort of like every theme park is an amusement park, but not every amusement park is a theme park, if that makes sense. And what separates them, obviously, is that key word, theme. And themes can go from very loose, say like Busch Gardens theming things to Africa, or SeaWorld using water, or as immersive as Galaxy's Edge, which feels like you are stepping into a completely different world. But these parks have a clear theme. Everything inside that park, whether it's a gift shop or food stand or the rides inside, do what they can to play into that theme. Now contrast that to something like Coney Island or any boardwalk with rides, and what would those be themed to? The beach? A traveling fair? No, there really isn't any cohesive element that is tying all those things together. Really, they're just a collection of rides, and usually not even very good ones. Which isn't to say that theme parks are inherently better, but man, do they tend to be better. But I think a lot of people don't understand this distinction, or a lot of people don't care, or at least they think they don't care. But I would argue that there is a reason more people go to Disney and Universal than to SeaWorld or Busch Gardens Tampa, and a big part of that reason is superior theming. And I won't lie, there are other factors like rides and family fun value, but even within those factors, theming plays a role. For instance, more kids are going to be interested in going to see their favorite princess or getting to feel like a princess at Bippity Boppity Boutique, or to get to build a lightsaber and feel like a Jedi in their very own Jedi robes. And it works with older folks too. I mean, not a lot of grandparents are interested in riding Falcon's Fury or Montu, which is not to say all grandparents. I know that some of them are going to be really all about those thrills. But a lot of them might be more interested in something like Peter Pan or E.T. or even just a show like the Country Bear Jamboree or Hall of Presidents. Old folks love Hall of Presidents. But more than that, people always talk about Disney magic, and if you haven't been to one of their parks or it's been a while, it's easy to think that it's just Disney adults hyping it up. But I think if you go and allow yourself the same kind of suspension of disbelief you do for a movie or a play, you can easily see what people mean. Because there is going to be a different feeling walking onto Main Street USA than walking into Cedar Point. And that's not to knock on Cedar Point. That entrance is crazy with Gatekeeper flying over you as you walk in, hearing its track and people screaming, but I don't think the feeling is the same. Walking into Disney World really feels like you have left the real world. It's almost like you just walked into a postcard. Walking into Cedar Point or Six Flags feels like you walked into the map of Cedar Point or Six Flags. Amusement parks feel like just a collection of rides, kind of like the Beatles' White Album. It can be really good, but when you put it all together, you're kind of like, why is this all together? What glue is making this cohesive? Or even more so, it can feel like a playlist, but instead of little bops, it's massive wood and metal feats of engineering. Whereas when you walk into the wizarding world of Harry Potter, it's more like listening to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon or a symphony. Each piece builds on the themes and the motifs. Every part adds to the vision as opposed to having a collection of vignettes. And some people might not actually care, and I think both are to be appreciated. I love the White Album and Dark Side, and most of the time, if you want more thrills and just exciting rides, I think the amusement parks are the way to go. But again, I just think there is something more that can be offered in these experiences. There's often a story to get lost in, a reason for things being how they are. There's almost no rhyme or reason to amusement parks besides, where will this ride fit? But in theme parks, you can find fun just walking around and looking for secrets, different paths, games, interactive elements. It adds something to keep you going from ride to ride, something to distract you from the fact that you are going to be spending a lot of your day standing around with strangers, baking in the sun. And I know that theme parks are making more money off of not just merchandise, which is obvious, but on food and drinks too. There's a good chance that nobody has a food experience at Six Flags that they would write about in a positive light. Oh man, that plain hot dog with the mustard from the packet. No one's saying that. But I do not have enough appendages to count the amount of times I have seen someone either post about or heard somebody talk about the butterbeer, or the giant turkey leg from Disney, or most recently, those slime-looking drinks at Galaxy's Edge. The best theme parks go deeper than just rides and queues. The dedication goes as deep as the food and to the walkways. There's such a great amount of attention given to these parks that I think it makes sense how people gush over them. I mean, that's pretty much all I've been doing. But maybe it's from being a theater kid, maybe it's my obsession with alternative styles of storytelling, or maybe it's just that it's good fun, and I think you can find value in them no matter how old or how young you are. Even if you never get on a single ride in Pandora or Galaxy's Edge or the Wizarding World, you could still have a lot of fun. Hell, there's a Studio Ghibli theme park opening that is slated to have 0 rides. 0. The fun will be in immersing yourself into the beautiful films the studio has put out. And I have no doubt that it will be a joy to take a walk through the park and get a deeper understanding and appreciation for the stories that the studio has been crafting with great care over the last almost 40 years. So I guess take back what I said in the beginning about all theme parks being amusement parks, because that park will prove that theme parks are an entirely separate art in themselves. And really, that's what theme parks are. More than roadside attractions or destinations, the best theme parks are works of art.